So you have a plan.
I do.
We're going to jump
have
ahead
a
here a
great
little
plan.
bit. You have a wonderful plan. I'm so intrigued by what we've just been talking about here. I need to jump a little bit, but I think this is remarkable what you're planning on doing. So 6 years ago,
Yep.
your foot is nearly severed.
Yes.
You've gone through years of what I assume is rehabilitation, pain management,
Yep.
chronic pain. You've now reached a point where you're feeling much better.
Yes.
Pretty good. You've done a lot of inner work and outer work.
Yes.
Inner and outer work. And now you have a plan. Your plan is to swim across a lake.
Well, so
A cold lake.
this lake, if I swam across it, it would be a relatively short lake. I'm going to swim the length of the lake. This is a lake that is right near Jasper, and it
Beautiful.
runs along.
So it's a
Highway
mountain
16.
lake.
Yes, it's a mountain lake. So I think there are times in life when we're just, I don't know, where things just have to be done. And really, 2 years ago, I had this idea that I was going to swim the length of Talbot Lake. It's about 5 kilometers long. And because of circumstances in life, I wasn't able to do it. And because of the way that my foot was not really working, it was too much pain to even swim at that point. I just wasn't able to do it. But now, since I've had my surgery, I am going to swim the length of Talbot Lake.
So now why swim? Why not a bike ride or a hike or jumping out of an airplane?
Well, maybe I'll do those another time. Those ones might be another time.
Sure.
But no, I love swimming. That's a big
Okay.
part of this. But I had a traumatic experience when I was about 10 years old. I was water skiing behind a boat, and the boat propeller got totally caught up in some weeds. And what happened is, as the propeller got caught up in weeds, I went down, and I was, as a 10-year-old, in the weeds for a long time until they got the propeller untangled. And so I was very, very scared. And I have always been afraid of open water. I love swimming in a pool, but I've been afraid of open water. And so for me, stepping into courage, choosing what am I going to be? I want to be courageous. I don't want fear to be the thing that dictates what I will do and what I won't do in my life. And that's in my personal life, but so this is sort of an outward sign of an inward thing that I'm laying claim to. And so I'm doing this swim because I don't want to be afraid of that water, that open, weedy, cold, fishy water anymore. So I'm going to swim the length of Talbot Lake.
That's remarkable. That's remarkable. So you, getting back to what you mentioned earlier, the be, the do, the have.
Yeah.
You've been working on this be.
Absolutely.
Working on that foot. Working on overcoming a fear. Yeah. That fear is a big emotion that most of us feel most of the time in a lot of areas of our life. And this swim is the result of it. When do you plan on doing this swim, Alana?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let the lake warm up a little bit.
That's a great idea.
Right now it's May, and I don't want to go in there quite yet. Talbot Lake is actually, I'm being kinder to myself than you think. Talbot is shallow, and so it does warm up a smidge. And so by mid-August, I should be able to do this. And so that's the plan.
And how far is it across the lake?
Well, to go from where I'm going to, from start to finish, it'll be about 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah.
How are you preparing for this swim?
Yeah, absolutely. So for every effort that we have where we want to move into something different, we have to prepare.
Yes.
And so my preparation has been, number one, I had surgery in November. Cheers.
Okay, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yes.
And 12 weeks in a cast and a good solid 8 without weight bearing. And so that was step number 1, surgery. Number 2, I've been back in the pool, and that's been feeling really, really great. Number 3, I'm putting a whole community of volunteers around myself, good friends who are going to help me when I'm actually in the water. And so that's a big part of my success then as well.
That support system.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We all need support system around us. We should never be doing these kinds of things alone.
Yeah, yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah,
to have that team of cheerleaders.
I want to create success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you thought a little bit about, so you're preparing, you're doing the being, you're doing the doing.
Yes.
Have you thought a little bit about how it's going to feel when you step into that water and start to swim and you see the shoreline on 5 kilometers away? You might not even see it.
I will not see it.
Will be a horizon, a watery horizon. Have you thought about what that's going to feel like?
You know, one of the things that I've just really been able to articulate lately is that when we are doing something big, it's really important to just focus on what's just ahead of you instead of the whole thing. And so I want to be really intentional to not think about the end. Certainly the end is what I want, but I have 5 kilometers to swim. I'll be in the water for probably about, depending on the weather, probably about 2 hours in the cold.
Yeah.
And so if I just focus on the people around me and the beauty around me and the fact that I can swim, the fact that I love the feeling of my swimming, that's going to take me all the way.
So this is tying in so nicely to what you said earlier.
I'm not going to think about the fish. I'm not going to think about the fish.
The fish love you. You don't have to worry.
Or the weeds.
But you're choosing.
I am.
So that is the example you're really setting here for your children,
Absolutely.
for that support system around you, and for your clients as well, is that you can take a step into a cold mountain lake with a childhood fear, with a physical injury, and still choose how you're going to feel as you swim across that lake. That your perspective on the surroundings, the beauty, the fresh air, where you are now. Yeah, that's a wonderful example you're setting here, Alana.
I tried that a while ago, and once you've tried it, you can't go back. Being able to reframe is a really important skill. And so to reframe a fear into something that is powerful.
You just read my mind there.
Really?
Yes, yeah, you did, because I was thinking it's like taking your own power back. It sounds a little bit cliche to say something like that, but boy, what a revelation, or a great realization to know that each one of us really has the ability to do that, and I think that's really, really powerful.
It's been a journey though, and so
puts you in the driver's seat too, doesn't
Yeah,
it, for your own life?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
So when you step out of the water, then what?
When I step out of the water, I know there are going to be people there to celebrate with me. And celebration is an important part of every accomplished journey. I want to celebrate. And so after I'm done celebrating there on the shore, I fully imagine that the next place we'll go is to Mayan Hot Springs, where we'll enjoy some warm or hot water, and I'll be able to wear a different swimsuit than my swimming suit.
Yes, that sounds like a great way to top it all off.
Yeah, it's not too far from Talbot, and so we'll probably scooch up there and maybe enjoy a barbecue or something like that too.
Is it a little too ambitious maybe to say how you might be feeling after that? Are you leaving that open for now to choose? Are you leaving it open for possibility?
I fully expect that when I'm done, that I'll feel a sense of accomplishment and relief, and celebration. Certainly I'll be tired, but I'll probably already be looking at figuring out what I want to do next.
Yes, yes, yeah. I have a feeling you're slightly unstoppable, so.
I think I'll be figuring out what I want to do next.
Yes, yeah. So it feels to me that it's going to be a big step in a beautiful journey that's ahead of you, and
Thank you.
And I think that's important to note, because sometimes it seems like we set goals for ourselves thinking that I'll be happy when. But I don't sense that from you.
No.
You're arriving joyful and happy and
Absolutely.
appreciative, and
Yeah.
it's just going to flow from there in that direction.
The Great North American Disease. I can't remember who calls I'll Be Happy When the Great North American Disease.
Yes.
And happiness is something, we don't always feel it, but we can choose it even when we're feeling sad.
Yes. Within that framework.
It's messy, it's complicated, but we can feel, I'm fully expecting during that swim that I'm gonna be feeling afraid and brave all at the same time. and that's the beauty of being human, is that we can feel more than one thing at once.
Yes, absolutely. It's life. It's life.
Yeah.
What do you want us to know?
Yeah.
What do you want us to really get?
Well, here's what I want to do. I want to challenge the world. I want to challenge Central Alberta, especially because Central Alberta is my community now. I want to challenge everyone to a place of recognizing something in their life that they want to change, that they're afraid of changing. We all set New Year's resolutions. Well, not all of us. A lot of us do. And they're usually about things that we're afraid of tackling, and we very seldom get clear about why we don't finish those things. And so I want to challenge anyone who listens to this to something new by recognizing something where they want to move from fear to courage. Just that. To put some steps in place. I don't know what their steps might be. Perhaps they want to share those in some comments below. To share them on my Facebook page when I post this. But I want people to get very clear about what they need to do to create success for themselves in moving from fear to courage, and to show the world that fear doesn't have to dictate our choices. It just doesn't.
That is revelational. That is very revelational. So Alana Peters from nowsthetime.ca, thank you very much for joining me today and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Sharing your perspective, and sharing some great fresh ideas.
It's great to have
as well.
conversation.
We will be watching you for mid-August, weather dependent.
Mid-August, yes.
Test that lake water for the temperature first.
It won't be toes in. It'll be all in.
Wonderful. Well, I hope we can follow up with what that journey was for you as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.